I have a question for you today. When you think of the United States, and by the way, you could be watching this, that's a great thing about YouTube, you could be watching this anywhere in the world. But when you think of the United States, whether you live here or not, what do you think our ranking is with overall health of its citizens? Of people that have lived here all their life, raised here, in the world ranking, how do you think we rank? Okay, you've had a moment here to think about it, and I will tell you right now, being my age, all my life, it's USA, USA, USA number one. That's been my mentality all my life and still continues to be. I love my country, I love where I live. I live in Texas, and Texans, hey, when we go anywhere, you say, if you go abroad, when you answer where you're from, you say Texas. That's just the way we Texans have always been. I'm sorry, I know it's just the way we are. We once were a country. I'm a 7th generation Texan, so there's a lot of Texas pride, and I'm not claiming we're the best state, but I sure love being a Texan. But back to my question, when you think of that ranking, and I always want to be ranked the best, everything I've looked at several different sources, and it says that the United States is ranked, depending on what source you look at, is either 34th as the best. I found one source that said we're ranked 36th in our overall health wellness. And that's kind of shocking to me. And what brought that to my attention, I've watched a couple of, I watch it on YouTube, a couple of podcasts where they were talking about that very thing. Now, I don't care where you're at in the political spectrum, doesn't matter to me. I kind of gave up on politics about 15 years ago. I could care less. But health is something that affects all of us. And I will tell you, let me point the finger at myself first. Even though I'm here at Whirlwind Family Farm, we raise delicious vegetables, and my wife is always on me about eating them. And I try to do my very best, but I will tell you, you can go to the grocery store, come home with that medium-sized bag of potato chips, and I'll almost eat the whole thing. I'll get a sandwich, eat a bag of potato chips, which you talk about processed food with chemicals and everything else in it. I'm not saying that they're harmful, but I am saying that is some major processed food. And from everything I'm hearing, that really is the issue. I believe it is our metabolic system and all the issues we're dealing with obesity, and it boils down to packaged foods, processed foods, things that have every kind of chemical. You just open up and you look, and I'm pointing at me. I love all those things. I love a donut as much as anybody. So I guess the point of what I'm trying to say here is there can be a better way and a simpler way for you to be able to get better nutrition in your life. And you know me here at Whirlwind Family Farm, the one thing I always preach, especially right now, we're on the cusp of planting season. I'm going to be starting here in the next couple of weeks. I always have to be careful. We're getting very close to the time when we get our last frost, and sometimes I push it a little too soon. A lot of the greens I plant, they're frost resistant. But back to my point, is that we're coming up on that season when spring gardens can start. If you're ever a time of year when you do think about it, because all of the retail, even if you walk into a grocery store, they always have the little seed packet thing where you can go over and pick out seeds. I always suggest don't get your seeds there. I have a whole video about that. And there's just a lot of things to remind us. Spring is on the way. If you go into and none of these are sponsors, obviously, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, whoever it is, they're going to have all of their fertilizers, their sprinklers. They're going to start having displays for their lawnmowers if they're not already. I haven't walked into one in a while, so I don't know, but I'm sure. All my life I've ever walked in, spring is the big season. So that's when we turn our mind towards thinking about gardens. And back to my original subject, the United States, let's give us the best stat I saw was 34th. We ranked 34th in our health. And the thing that really I saw with the countries that were ranked higher is they tended to eat more naturally. They tended to eat foods that were better for them. They tended to I don't know if they're going, because I haven't traveled in those places, I don't know if they're going to a marketplace, they're raising it themselves. I suspect there's probably a marketplace where a lot of people go buy their vegetables, which may be things that were recently harvested. They're taking it, it's going to be farm to table, and they're ending up with better health because of it. So my challenge to you is, whether you have, and I've said this and I apologize for repeating myself, if you live in an apartment, you can raise things either now in these little micro gardens that you can buy online. But I say, hey, let's make it even less expensive. Let's get some containers. And if you have a balcony that's getting some sun, you have a pretty good chance of growing some good things on the balcony. Now, those of you that have, whether it's a tiny, small garden or small backyard or a fairly big backyard, there's a lot of things that can be grown. So many things. And again, at the risk of repeating myself on this channel, is a 5 foot by 5 foot space can grow a lot of vegetables. So the thing I would say, and I'm pointing the finger at me right now when it comes to this, and I've gotten better about it. I love, for the sake of speed, I'll sit down and make myself a sandwich, which again is processed meats and cheeses. Nothing I'm necessarily wrong with the cheeses, but I will grab it, put some mustard on it, eat a sandwich, and get back out to work. And there was never a vegetable involved in that process. But I've gotten better because my wife reminds me and hounds me a little bit to go in and grab. Even if I'll go and grab some radishes, slice them up. So good, by the way. Some radishes, put them on a tortilla, wrap them up, radishes, put them on top of maybe those meats that I've got on my sandwich. We have lots of different mixed lettuces and mixed lettuces in our garden. Go grab some of those leaves, just pick them by hand. Go out, grab some carrots, get your lettuce, your carrots. As we move into summer, you can have your cucumbers and start slicing those up and make yourself a good, healthy vegetable salad. There's just so many things you can do. Beans, if you're growing beans, if you could start growing, one of the things that I say is really good for you is blackberries. I think there's some antioxidants there. Could be wrong on that, but blackberries are really good, and I know they're good for you. It's easy to grow those. Blackberries can start producing within a year. So there's a lot of different things you can grow and plant which are good for you. And I guess the point of this video, what I'm trying to tell you is this can be the year where you can change some of those consumption habits. Now, am I one of those that says you have to just be a vegetarian and you just have to eat vegetables? No, absolutely not. I'm in favor of good protein. I have ranchers all around me, and I think it's just a blessing what they do, and I'm always in favor. In fact, there's even a few sheep and goat raisers around us as well. So protein, I think, is an important part of our diet. But at the same time, the less you can consume processed foods, things that have gone somewhere, they've been packaged, they've got preservatives in them, they've got certain chemicals, and I'm not a chemist, so I don't know all the chemicals that are put into these packaged foods. But I have heard physicians talk about it in these podcasts, and you're like, golly, that's a lot of different chemicals I'm putting into my body when I grab that soda, or I grab that big bag of chips, or whatever it is that I'm consuming that day. That's a lot of chemicals. And that's where your garden can free you from a lot of that, because the really blessing and cool thing is when you start to get your garden going, and it may take you, if you've never done this before, it may take you a couple of seasons to start fully understanding the process of how to garden. And you've found the right place. Here at Whirlwind Family Farm, we try to show you the very simplest methods. We go no-till, make it easy, make it simple. There's less weeding involved when you go no-till. So back to what I'm saying is you just have to find a way to get more healthy food for yourself. And that's where a garden is so very valuable. So I say all the time, make it as simple as possible. As I was saying, go no-till. You're going to have less labor involved with that, less weeding has to be done, as I was about to say. And it's just many, many different things you can grow in a small space. You can always have your tomatoes over here, 4 or 5 different tomato plants, have your carrots, your radishes. You can come in then with your beans, which are going to have some protein. And then you can go with a lettuce mix. You can just do a lot of different things. Beets, I'm not a big fan of beets, but it's amazing how much better they taste when you get them out of the garden. Turnips are excellent. They're more of a cold weather plant, but you can start them off in the spring. Just literally go through the list. I'm a big carrot fan, and there's nothing quite like going over and picking a carrot straight out of the ground, and I eat it with the compost right there on it. Hey, there's good bacteria there for your gut. I eat those, and it's amazing how good they taste. So, back to my original subject, is if the United States ranks, again, I'll give it the benefit of a doubt, rank 34th in health of what we consume and how we eat. We rank 34th in our health of eating. There's a way you can move your ranking up. And I have been a proponent of this now for several years, is just make it simple, make it easy. And I know many of you that are watching this, you have careers where you're busy during the day, you may have young children. There's a lot of things going on in your life, and you're like, Jeff, you're asking me to eat healthier and you're telling me to raise my own food. That's going to take a lot of time, it's going to be complicated, and there's a lot of things I have to study. Well, I'll take the burden on this channel where you can watch us and kind of see what we do. I'm not saying we have all the answers, but I can help you get along. And I have a bunch of videos posted right now. You can start with the ones that I started making. They're not very good, I'll tell you. If you go back 2 years ago when we started this channel, I look back at some of my work, it wasn't very good. But it still conveys the message of what to do. So you can go back and start checking those out right now. If you want to go and look, and where I talk about carrots, I talk about trellising cucumbers, trellising indeterminate tomatoes, how to come in and plant direct seeding, how to start off in a seed tray. And by the way, we start off many things in a seed tray and then transplant out. So with those little small backyard gardens, there's a lot of food that can be grown. And I did another video where I talked about people starting to learn, and you can learn this on YouTube, how to can, how to preserve food, to have it through the wintertime. Those good vegetables where those nutrients were locked in and preserved in that canning process. And then in these winter months, like here at the end of February, you still have some good vegetables that you can consume. And again, by no means is a garden going to provide you with every bit of food that you need for your family. The grocery store is vitally important. But you can start having that nutritious, nutrient-dense food in your diet every single day by raising your own vegetables, being able to go to harvest right in your backyard and mix it in with the other things that you consume. And it's such a good thing for you, and it's such a blessing. And it gets you outside in the sunshine, doing a little bit in the afternoons or weekends. And these small no-till gardens don't take a lot of time, don't take a lot of resources. And we even talk about that. I got a video as well. So as I wrap this video up, think about that. We're coming into March very rapidly, and that's the season when spring gardening will start. And I'll tell you, once you start your spring garden, even if it's not perfect, and none of us have perfect gardens, even those of us who do it professionally, there's always insects, there's powdery mildew, there's vine borers. We'll talk about that go after your squash. Another great vegetable, by the way. But with all those things said, give it a try. You can do well. If 50% of your garden produces, that's 50% more than you had this time last year. And I know you can do well at it. So think about gardening. Seeds, I always say, try to find your seeds at a good reputable seed dealer. I always say with seeds, they'll tell you when they were harvested. They'll tell you if they're organic, and they'll give you all those indications on there, where some of those little seed packets you buy at the grocery store, those may be old, and I always say avoid those. Find a good, fresh, good, reputable seed dealer, and you're gonna have the best chance for germination. So guys, thanks for finding our channel. And we just hope that you are able to find and be able to get your garden started this year to have a more healthy diet. And you'll know where those vegetables came from. There's no doubt. You know that there were no chemicals put on them. You know they're fresh. You know you just picked them. And there's just a nice feeling in knowing when you're consuming something that is chemical free. So blessings over you, your family, and your garden. Thanks for finding our channel here at Whirlwind Family Farm. Talk to you soon.